Well, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Jay. As you can see, the co-pilot is here too. On the channel, we have now reached the 50th movie mark. So we figured we'd do something a little different this time. We're going to rank the top 50 movies that I watched so far. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know. This ranking has nothing to do with the quality of movies. This is just my preference on which movies I like better. Like, so there may be some great movies at the bottom, but there's gonna be some other ones I'd rather watch. I know some of y'all ain't gonna agree with my ranking, and that's cool. But once again, this is not a quality of movie thing. This is my personal opinion on how I like them in the order I like them in. So I just want to make sure that's clear, because I don't want y'all being mad at me in the comments. So we don't want to be mad, do we? You want to tell them the first one? I try to give them to tell you. There it goes. The first one on the list at number 50 is Kung Fu Hustle. The reason why Kung Fu Hustle is number 50 is because, honestly, I thought it was a cool movie. I love the fighting in it. But that's one of those movies, if I never saw it again, I really wouldn't be sad. If I'm flipping through the channels and it happened to be on, I'll check it out. I don't see myself ever going, hey man, I want to watch Kung Fu Hustle. Man, my apologies to anybody out there who like Kung Fu Hustle like that. My bad. And if that's a bad one for y'all, y'all might as well go ahead and buckle up. Yeah, for some doozies. All right, at 49, we have SemiPro. I personally thought SemiPro was hilarious. I really did. I love Jackie Moon. I love Woody Harrelson in it. I love Andre 3 Stacks in it. But if I'm being honest, that and Kung Fu Hustle is probably the weakest comedies I've seen on this list so far. It can't mess with any of the other ones, in my opinion. Like, it was funny, but it was a basketball movie that didn't really have enough basketball in it for me. I like basketball. Number 48 is Fear and Loathing. This movie is unlike any movie I've ever seen, ever. This movie was an acid trip, and it probably been better if I was doing acid. Like, it's some beautiful, amazing writing in this movie. Like, some of the stuff he was saying, some of the best things I've ever heard in life. But this movie was wild as fuck, and I just don't think I could watch it too many times. Plus, they had all that throwing up and stuff in it, and I couldn't do it. No. But it was a fun ride, though. And let me say again, I liked every movie on here. I really have. Number 47 is Clue. The only reason Clue is this low on the list, honestly, is because I used to watch Death by Murder or Murder by Death. I don't remember the name of it, but I like that better than Clue. That was my Clue, technically. If I had never seen it, Clue would have been higher, but I already have that, and I love that movie. Number 46 is The Mist. Not gonna lie to y'all, I surprised my damn self that this wasn't my number 50. But once I got to being honest about it, I really enjoyed The Mist. The first half of the movie, hell, the first 3/4 of the movie, I really enjoyed The Mist. Then that bullshit at the end happened. I'll never forgive y'all for that. I'm talking to you, Blank. Never. I'll never forgive you for that. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? It's an ending. It's a great ending because it's going to get a reaction out of you. From the other reactions that I watched of it, most people cried. I think me and Alana's the only two that had. I think she was more shocked, but I was hot. I Blank, I'll never forgive you for this. 45. I apologize in advance. 45 is Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom. The number one reason this movie is down here is because I could not stand the woman in it. The blonde haired chick, I couldn't stand it. Oh, was that Steven Spielberg's wife? I like the woman from the first one. If she'd have been in this would have been ranked higher. And then y'all seen the stuff they was eating. I can't stomach that. I would have to skip that whole section if I watch this again. I mean, I watched it a couple more times, but every time I watch it, I gotta skip from the time they eat to the end of it. Then I gotta skip the whole bug shit. I can't do it. Can't do it. Number 44 is Primal Fear. I truly like Primal Fear. I really did. I think Edward Norton had a great. Hey, he did great at this. He killed this. Edward Norton was amazing in this movie. And the twist at the end, I absolutely love the twist. It's just that if I wasn't so invested in the little romance part of it, this movie pretty much kind of fell flat on everything else compared to the rest of the movies on the list. I felt like they could have done a little more with what they had. 43, we got Red Dragon. I love this movie for what it was, but for this to be a movie in the Hannibal Lecter series, I haven't seen Hannibal yet. I'm still going to watch that. But for this to be a movie with Hannibal in it, to me, I know Hannibal wasn't on screen as much in the first one, but when he was on screen, it felt longer than what it was because he commanded your presence, like he commanded your attention. When Hannibal talked in the first one, it was like they lost that in this one. That's what made, to me, Hannibal great. They took away what made him actually great. I like the petty game he had in this one, though. He was petty, but he wasn't as menacing as before. 42. 42 is Con Air. Con Air to me is Nicolas Cage on cocaine. Somebody said, hey, what kind of movie you want to make? They gave him an 8-ball and we got Con Air. Cheesy 80s, 90s action. Well, I guess 90s action. With Nick Cage with long hair doing a slow-mo run. Honestly, this would have been higher, but there's a lot of great movies on this. And it's hard to put this up above anything else. So 41 is American Psycho. American Psycho had me confused, but it's another one of those. Christian Bale was great in it. I like seeing Christian Bale be crazy in movies. I like him much more as a bad guy than I do a good guy. It was a fun ride, but it's a fun ride watching him go by hookers and stuff and talk to him about music while they're over there fucking. Like that's hilarious to me. You had Christian Bale. And this is probably one of the greatest roles, if not the greatest role Christian Bale ever had. You could have done so much more with this too. Like I thought it was like I said, I loved every movie on here, but they could have done so much more with this because they had such an amazing actor killing it. But with that being said, I will watch this again. You know what I'm saying I will watch this anytime it's on. Number 40. Oh brother, where art thou? Oh brother, where art thou? This is hilarious. It's a hilarious movie. It made me feel at home because all the country stuff that was in it. Because I told y'all, country boy from West Virginia. It made me feel at home. Like, let's listen to everybody talk. It's a funny movie. I love seeing George Clooney doing silly stuff. Only reason why this ain't higher is because I've seen the Odyssey a bunch of times. I've seen this story done better. But this has a lot of nostalgic things in it for me. So that's why we put this at 40. 39 is Robocop. Not gonna lie to you. If I hadn't figured Robocop out, Robocop would have been at 50. Because in my head, when I was watching Robocop, I was like, this movie is almost trash. Like, it's horrible. Because I thought they was being serious. And like, the acting, the over-the-top stuff, I was like, this is this. Why do people like this like so much? And then I realized what the hell was going on. And Robocop got a special place in my heart. I just can't put it no higher than anything else on the list. And I thought long and hard about it. It's just, I went back and forth with stuff. Like this, Robocop could have been anywhere from 39, honestly, up to mid-20s. But once I started being honest with myself, it just kept dropping. 38, Office Space. Office Space has a special place because of the mullet, my man Milton. Hey, and my dude pulled Jennifer Aniston with so little effort. Office Space is amazing. Like it's really amazing. Like, but as a comedy, as an overall package, there's another one I couldn't put higher. Like, and this is Office Space is one of those movies that if we get talking about it like online or something, like having a conversation and somebody get to mention it, I will go watch it. Like I still got Office Space on my computer, but I couldn't put it no higher. It hurt me to have Office Space this low. 37, A Quiet Place. Now, A Quiet Place could have been so much better, but when I watched A Quiet Place, I didn't have any subtitles. I didn't know it was supposed to be subtitles. So The Quiet Place held my attention with 0 subtitles. I mean, I was in it. Y'all saw like I was in it. Like looking with them for it to be a scary movie. It done really well, but it fell short in a lot of things. Like there's a lot of questions. Like I think we talked about some of them in the comments. Like, what if somebody fart? You know what I'm saying? They're gonna come up and just get them hit like that. You know what I mean? Like, just saying, I need to know. I snore. If I'm snoring, are they gonna come get me? Do I gotta sleep down there where they had the baby at? Like, there's so many questions I gotta ask. But the fact that it held my attention with no subtitles is the reason why this is so high. I gotta respect it for that reason. Number 36, Galaxy Quest. Hey, Galaxy Quest is fucking amazing. I never watched Star Trek. The fact that I've never watched Star Trek and I liked it as much as it is, as much as I do, just let me know how much more. Like, just let me know. That lets me know that if I watch Star Trek, that this movie would be higher on the list. But I love the cast: Sam Rockwell, Sigourney Weaver, Alan Rickman, Tim Allen. I can never think of his real name, Monk. But this movie is absolutely hilarious. Like, absolutely. But I couldn't put it no higher. 35 is one of the ones, don't at me. But 35 is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like I said earlier, I loved the girl in the first one. Loved her. Wish she'd have been in all three movies. Love Indiana Jones. I have to agree with what I've been told. Like, people said this is probably the best adventure movie of all time. It's Steven Spielberg and George Lucas's love child. They're absolutely right. But I mean, it's filled with action. Even the way it starts out is fucking amazing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Brilliant. You know what I'm saying? I mean, from go, adrenaline rush. Just, but being honest, it's not my favorite Indiana Jones movie. So I can't put it higher than that. It actually went back and forth with this next one. 34, Nightmare on Elm Street. I know some of y'all probably just like, how the fuck you got Nightmare on Elm Street before Raiders? I'll tell you how. Because Freddy Krueger is funny. He's hilarious. Like, that dude is a comedian. Like, I know he was being serious this whole movie, but I laughed a lot. And in fact, my man hold a grudge. Not only is he holding a grudge, he's petty. Because he's not going after the people that killed him. He's going after their kids. The only reason why Freddy ain't ranked higher is because he got beat up by a teenage girl. Come on, dog. You can't die and come back just to catch hands to a female in high school. She Kevin McAllister your ass, bro. She home alone the shit out of you. Just the same face you had to kill her mom. You had to get the mama. Because you couldn't whoop her ass. The mama was drunk. That don't even count. You took it easy. You know what I'm saying? Number 33. I can hear it now. Pulp Fiction. Hey, love Pulp Fiction. Thought it was hilarious. One of the most disturbing things I ever seen in a movie come from Pulp Fiction. Well, I didn't see it. I just heard it. You know. What did he say? Spider got a couple flies in the web. What did he say? What he told boy he say? Like, bruh, who does that? You know what I'm saying? Like, real shit. Like, if my man was just called him up. They kidnapping people, but fuck them in the back. Like, hey, in John Travolta, bro, like, every time we went to the bathroom, something happened. I love this movie. I thought it was a fun time. I thought it was everything everybody talked about. It's just, I've seen better Tarantino movies, and I like a lot of them are better. And a lot of these movies on this list, I like way better than Pulp Fiction. It's probably like that's honestly one of the easiest ones to place. Because I liked it more than everything that's below it, but everything above it, it's not even close. 32, Blazing Saddles. Blazing Saddles is the most wonderfully ignorant movie I've ever seen in my life. And I know some people get stuck on that word ignorant, but it's not a bad thing. Because I'm giving it all the props in the world. It's pure genius. It's an amazing fun time. It's not higher because, honestly, it's only so many times I want to hear jokes. Heard them most of my life. You know, It's funny. Like if it's done right, it's hilarious. At the same time, I mean, yeah. But I love the movie. And I really did. Like I'm sitting here thinking about it. My man Swag was on 1,000. 31. Tremors. Tremors surprised the shit out of me when I watched it. Kevin Bacon, Fred Ward, old girl that I told Kevin Bacon he need to go have puppies with her. Their on-screen chemistry was amazing. And it got Reba in it. From go, it was just a fun time. But this is what, honestly, Tremors would be a whole lot higher if everything else went on the list. I'm telling you, Tremors is right there at 31 because it couldn't go any higher. It peaked out right there because of everything else, the quality of everything else. That's the only reason why it's at that point. All right, number 30. And I'm not gonna lie to you. This damn near broke my heart to put this right here. But I'm keeping it real with myself. There's nowhere else it could go. It's the Batman. Number 30 is the Batman. Love the Batman. Batman fan. Huge Batman fan. Batman back there, chilling. You know what I'm saying? Love Batman. I will argue you up and down about Batman for hours. You know what I'm saying? I love watching this movie. I love seeing Robert Pattinson kill this because he's an amazing actor. This was the Batman I've been waiting for. This gritty, hardcore Batman is the Batman I waited my whole life for. And I had to put this motherfucker at 30. And honestly, this is my favorite. That was my favorite Batman movie. I'm telling y'all, it broke my heart to put this here. But this Batman went so hard. It like how everybody was so scared of him, and then by the end, like they were scared to let go of him. Like that was their hope. Had to. There's nowhere else to put it. At 29, I got Kindergarten Cop. I know some of y'all probably shocked that Kindergarten Cop so high. But at the same time, I know y'all know the type of movies I like. So y'all probably like, it might be too low. But Kindergarten Cop is at 29 because this is the Arnold that I know. This is the Arnold that I love. Like I said, only other Arnold stuff I've really seen is Terminator 2, Junior, and Jingle All the Way. So the Arnold I know was this Arnold. I don't know that shoot 'em up, bang, bang Arnold like y'all do. Seeing Arnold in this movie and seeing his partner in this movie, because she was in Junior as well, it gave me the nostalgia from Junior in this movie. And then all the kids in this movie did an amazing job. Like truly amazing. Like I've legit have probably watched this movie 10 times since I've watched it for the channel. I love this movie. It's the victim of the same thing that pretty much the last three has been victim of. It couldn't go no higher. I thought it was gonna be higher. Hell, I thought the Batman was gonna be higher. Shit, I thought the Mist was gonna be last. At 28, we got Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. This is another one. It's an MCU movie. I love comic book movies. I'm an old comic book nerd. I just knew this was going to be top 10. I tried to put it in the top 10. I tried to force it there. We're a long way from 10. But this movie is amazing. The night I watched it for the channel, I went and straight watched it again. They went and made a horror movie, and they done an amazing job with it. I know this gave little kids nightmares after they watched this shit. It damn near gave me a nightmare after watching this shit. It wasn't gory, but the motherfucking killings was, hey, Scarlet Witch was on her shit, let me tell you. The MCU and Disney be doing their thing. And I can't wait to see where this goes. And it's an MCU movie. It's going to be on repeat. Sadly, if I got a chance to watch anything in front of it, I'm going to watch it instead. And I love the MCU. At 27, we got the Big Lebowski. This is hand down one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life. I can't even think of good things to say about this because there's so many I can say. Like, all my man wanted was a drug. I still can't believe that bitch cut her toe off to try to get some money. I'm telling you, I know a lot of people say it all the time. I'll cut my finger off for $1 million. Fuck that. I ain't cutting shit off. God gave me 10 fingers, 10 toes. I'm keeping them. But I loved everything about this movie. And I still tell you to this day, if you got a friend like Walter, get him out your life. I can't believe they put old boy Donnie in the motherfucking coffee can, man. That's fucking wild to me. But The Big Lebowski was brilliantly done. It's a fun ride from start to end. There's been some great movies. I know y'all probably like, man, that should be higher. I can't put them no higher on my list. 26, National Lampoon's Vacation. Clark Griswold ain't shit. I laughed for days about the fact he put that old woman on the top of the car and then left her in the fucking backyard like she's a piece of lawn furniture. I laughed about that shit for days. That shit will forever be funny to me. Clark Griswold is the most ain't shit person I've ever seen in my life. Trying to do something good. Like, he wasn't out there, I can't even say that. He killed a dog and he killed that. I'm not gonna put the old woman on him. He ain't kill her. But at the same time, he ain't give a fuck she was dead though. But he was just trying to do something good for his kids. But he ain't shit for everything that happened in between. Hey, his daughter went dead for a minute. He didn't care. He just ordered drinks. Clark ain't shit. And I love him for it. I love him for that reason. Clark Griswold is one of the funniest dudes I've ever seen in my life. This movie is amazing. It's not Christmas Vacation funny, but it's amazing. All right, so we're now in the top 25. I'm telling you now, this top 25 was hard for me. At 25, we got Jaws. Jaws is an all-time great. Jaws did scare the shit out of me. But I can't even say I won't rewatch Jaws because I will watch the shit out of Jaws. It's just everything else that I have above this, I will watch 1,000 times more than I will Jaws. Like I said, I loved everything about Jaws. The only thing I didn't like about Jaws is that we did not see the mayor get his ass whooped. The mayor should have got fucked up. Like, they should have like an MCU after credit scene where old boy just is out hit land and he finds the mayor and he river dances on the mayor's fucking face. You know what I'm saying? Just you know what I'm saying? Just river dance on it. Then teabag him. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that would have made Jaws better. If that had happened, Jaws would have been #1 on the list. I'm telling you right now. But everything about Jaws was beautifully done. From start to go, they let you know what's at risk. I understand why it's a classic. I understand why people love that movie. At 24, we got The Shining. The Shining was everything I wanted it to be, but I didn't know that's what I wanted. Because The Shining is one of those movies that I was asking for. I did not know what it was, but I knew people loved it. Like, I didn't realize The Shining was one of those movies that every time you watch a movie, it's a fucking 80% chance it referenced something from The Shining. I didn't know that. Now I think about other movies and stuff, I see it. But The Shining was amazing. I love Jack Nicholson in it. I do not know old girl's name. I did not know that was olive oil till y'all told me in the comments. But I see it now. I can see it being olive oil. She looks just like she weighs 17 pounds. The Shining was amazing. Jack Nicholson, just like I said about old Nicolas Cage earlier. So they didn't give him a script. They just told him the structure of the script. And they gave him an 8 ball, said, here, Jack, do this. Because I'm telling you, that dude in that movie is the same dude on the Lakers sideline going crazy. I've watched The Shining 2 or 3 more times since this. It's still creepy as hell. And anybody who's laughing right now because I jumped in Tuesday, y'all are dead wrong. Y'all wrong for that. That scared the shit out of me. Don't judge me. All right, the next 2 is probably going to cause a great debate. But it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Because I know some people like one more, like one better than the other one. But at 23, I have Aliens. And at 22, I have Alien. And I know the majority of people, at least the majority of people I've talked to and the ones I remember in the comments, stuff like that, even in Scream 2, like I told y'all, I love the Scream movies. They was talking about how Aliens is better than Alien. But Aliens is my 23 because Aliens is an action movie. It's great. It's still creepy, but it is more of an adrenaline rush, bang, bang, shoot 'em up movie. I liked it a whole lot, but Alien had me so nervous from go. Alien taught me something I never knew or never would have thought about as a concept. Alien taught me that being absolutely quiet is fucking terrifying. That reason alone is why Alien is better than Aliens to me. Because it created tension and it didn't even do shit. That's amazing that Alien's tension from go is so thick and all it is just nothing but quietness going on. 21 is Beverly Hills Cop. Beverly Hills Cop, it's one of the funniest movies I've seen. Just watching Eddie Murphy do Eddie Murphy shit, it's hilarious. Then it got Judge in it, Judge Reinhold, John, I can't say his last name today. Y'all know who I'm talking about, Billy. And I know y'all probably like, what do you mean you can't say it today? That's how my words work. Billy was amazing. Like I think David Wayans. Hey, David Wayans, oh my God. Hey, I know why he shaved his fucking head. Hey, his haircut was a mess. Hey, his gray hair was do. Let me tell you. Hey, that shit's horrible. Beverly Hills Cop is hilarious. And it had people in it that, like, it had Mike from Breaking Bad in it. I didn't know that was Mike. I didn't know till y'all told me in the premiere. I had no idea that was Mike. I love Breaking Bad. You know what I'm saying? Mike's one of my favorite characters. I had no idea. The hair threw me off. This was a fun movie to watch. I've watched it a couple of times since. I watched my reaction to it a couple of times too, because I think it's funny. Seeing what people consider prom Eddie Murphy, I truly enjoyed it. Like I knew Eddie Murphy from Coming to America and Harlem Nights. Those was my Eddie Murphy movies. It's hands down one of the, as a pure comedy, it is the funniest movie I've watched on this channel. At 20, we have The Fugitive. The Fugitive is way better than I ever thought The Fugitive was going to be. When they told me it was a TV movie, they didn't tell me it was a TV movie. They told me it was a TV show. Then when Black was like, you're going to watch The Fugitive, I was like, well, this is going to be trash. Because I just thought it was like one of those made-for-TV movies. I didn't know who was in it. I didn't. But then he told me Harrison Ford was in it, and I was like, well, it can't be that bad. But this movie turned out to be way better than I ever thought. Watching Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones play a cat and mouse game with each other is fucking amazing. Dr. Kimball didn't understand he was on the run because my man never hit his fucking face. He was just out there ass and his whole face out. He wanted to live and find out who murdered his wife way more than I ever would have, because I'd have gave up. When they caught me at the end of the dam, I was not jumping. I wouldn't know. But jumping off, no, that has not been an option. And I know y'all was like, hey, if they took you back, you're gonna get the death penalty. They're gonna give him lethal injection. That was not been as bad as that motherfucker fell off there and busted his head wide open. You know what I'm saying? Broke both his legs on the way down. Brilliant movie. It was a good time. At 19, we got American History X, aka The Birth of the Murder Whistle. This movie, I've seen a couple of y'all say, I've seen where some of y'all said that this should be in schools. I agree 100% with y'all. I really do. I think this is one of those things where the lesson behind it is very powerful. I think it's good to show people that nothing from hate is good. They might need to skip the butt fuck scene in school, because I don't think that's allowed to be a part of the curriculum. But other than that, I do agree 100%. This should be shown to schools. And man, it's such a powerful movie, man. This is another one I wish was higher, but I couldn't do anything with it. I couldn't get it higher. 18, we got one of my mom's favorites, Goodfellas. Goodfellas, hands down, is better, funnier, and more well told than I ever imagined it could be, just from hearing little things about it. Goodfellas, if you can watch Goodfellas and it is not instantly one of your favorite movies, there's something wrong. Hey man, Goodfellas have so much in it. It got so many good people in it. And Samuel L. Jackson snuck his black ass in there out of nowhere, just popped up, bam, I'm here. And he got shot. Then he wasn't there no more. Samuel L. Jackson had a shorter role to this in this movie than Woody Harrelson had in No Country for Old Men. That's funny as hell. It shows you, this movie shows you about what it's like to be in that world, how everything is so easy and good when you're doing right, but once you get sloppy, how the fall from grace happens. It's a beautiful swan dive of just watching Henry go from being that dude to piece of shit, basically. He was always a piece of shit in a sense, but you know what I'm saying. At 17, we got Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. This is hands down my favorite Indiana Jones movie. I mean, it's got Indiana Jones, James Bond, the Great Value Indiana Jones, River Phoenix, and we find out that Indiana Jones is named after the dog. This movie is amazing. James Bond, Sean Connery, took down a plane with birds and an umbrella. Indiana Jones fucked the Nazi, so he got Nazi dick now. And he got Hitler's autograph. I love this movie. I love this story more than this one. I love the action. I think that Raiders was more adventure than the rest of them. I think this was more storytelling than the rest of them. Like, the story ran so much deeper in this one to me. It had more meaning. This is one of those I absolutely love. But The Last Crusade is by far and away my favorite Indiana Jones movie. Number 16 is Die Hard. Die Hard is one of those ones, I had it in the top 10. And it just kept falling out the top 10. No matter how many times I put it back up there, it kept falling at the top 10. Die Hard is one of those, I absolutely love this movie. Oh, I forgot to say this a minute ago because of dogs. If y'all haven't seen my Fugitive reaction, go watch it. is one of my favorite ones. It had more views, but we had to take it down because Warner Brothers. But it's one of my favorite ones. It's amazing. I won't say that about a lot of my. Well, there's another one reaction I'm gonna tell y'all about in a little bit that I love just as much. But The Future was one of my favorite reactions. No, back to Die Hard. We're at Die Hard. First off, I lost the argument about this being a Christmas movie. I can't say it's not a Christmas movie anymore. I kind of wish we would have watched it for Christmas, but at the same time, I'm glad we watched it when we watched it. Bruce Willis loved his woman more than anybody has ever loved a woman in anything. And I'm saying that because my man killed a group of terrorists on vacation by himself, barefoot. If y'all watch my reaction, y'all know how much the barefoot part bothered me. Bruce Willis looked like a janitor who decided, I'm sick of this shit. It's not going to happen no more. I'm going to get these dudes. Like Bruce Willis looked like your average Joe, and he was kicking ass. Die Hard is fucking amazing. All right, number 15. 15 is the movie that I wanted to watch off rip from go. 15 is Misery. Rest in peace, James Caan. Shout out to Kathy Bates. I love you, crazy bitch. But let me tell you, I never expected Kathy Bates to be on the shit she was on in this movie. Kathy Bates killed this part. She was just so nice, sweet, and innocent. And then she lost her fucking mind. She went ape shit. That's worse than being bad shit. She hit my man's foot with that sledgehammer. His foot did this shit. When she hit both of them, they had the nerve to tell this motherfucker, I love you. Bitch, what do you mean? Nothing about that is love. And and then outside waving that was the next day, my man was like this, like fuck that shit. Hey, Misery's amazing. Like to see Kathy Bates make that transformation to what I knew her from to this. And the crazy thing is, y'all knew her as this. The meanest she ever been was Bobby Boucher's mama and the Water Boy. This bitch was on that psycho-sis shit, bro. She was over a book, man. I told y'all I'd have dated her. We'd have been married. I'd have been 2 years deep. Shanked the shit out of her. It was telling you. At 14, it's a movie I wanted to put in my top 5 so bad. But I didn't. At 14, we have Stand By Me. This movie, hands down, is the best movie I ever seen acted by little kids. This is the best story I ever seen involving little kids like this. I haven't seen Goonies. Of what I have seen, this is hands down that story. And this is my favorite reaction I have done to anything. I mean, anything I've done. This is my favorite reaction. I love this movie so much. It touches a place in my heart that I never want to lose. It deals with something that I think a lot of us go through. Growing up and breaking away from your core friends that you grew up with. I still talk to all my friends that I grew up with, you know what I'm saying? But I don't get to see them hang out with them like every day. It will forever have a special place in my heart. At 13, we got Princess Bride. As You Wish. Princess Bride would have been in my top 5. Yeah, at 13, Princess Bride. It dropped from 5 to 13. A lot of shit happens. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit has happened since I've watched Princess Bride. A lot of good ones. But Princess Bride is another one of those. It has everything in it that I look for in a movie. It got romance, it got comedy, It's got action, it's got adventure, it's lighthearted, it's got revenge. I mean, everything, and it's got Andre the Giant in it. You know, like if people would have told me this a while ago, a long time ago, that that was in Prison Bride, I'd have been to watch that shit. That's everything I look for in a movie. Like everything. Number 13 is Tombstone. One of my mom's favorites. The favorite movie. Tombstone introduced me to the Shaq and Kobe of Cowboys. I've heard of Wyatt Earp, and I'm pretty sure I heard of Doc Holliday. I've heard of Doc Holliday. I didn't know nothing about him, but let me tell you, them two dudes, hey, the Wild West should be happy they was good guys. If they decided they wanted to be bad, and what shit y'all was doing about it? They came and demoted all your shit. Nothing you can do about it. Doc Hollywood, not Hollywood. Fuck it. I called him Hollywood in reaction. But Doc Holliday, hey, let me tell you, that's the baddest dude walking. My man was dying. From the first time you see him, he's dying. My man wasn't scared of nobody. Anytime Wyatt Earp needed some shit, he was right there. And he was real. Because he told Wyatt Earp to his face, you can't beat Ringo. You can't. You cannot beat Ringo. And my man got off his deathbed to go make sure his friend was safe. Doc Holliday is the realest dude that ever walked. He's a G. And I'm gonna have a I'm gonna have a Doc Holliday Funko Pop up there pretty soon. Yeah, Tombstone more hard. Number 11. This destroyed me. Not to have this in my top 10. Gladiator. I told y'all, Gladiator touched my heart when I didn't think this movie was going to ever hit me emotionally like the way it did. I told you, the next time I get a dog, it will be named Maximus or Maxie. It just depends on if it's a boy or a girl. Doc Holliday was the baddest man walking. I can't even call Maximus a man. Maximus was bigger. Maximum was bigger to me than just a person. Maximum was a cause. I know he was out for revenge for what happened, and I don't blame him. I would have been too, because fuck bitch ass. I'm telling y'all, I still don't say his name. He's bitch ass to the day he died. Well, he already did. But he's bitch ass to the end of time. Anytime I refer to Gladiator, the dude's name is bitch ass. It started out as revenge for him because he was done wrong. His family was murdered wrongfully. But it ended up being him standing up for much more than just himself. My man commanded so much respect from everybody around him. He's in jail, and soldiers and prisoners are saluting him. They're calling him general, and he's in jail. There's people in the crowd watching him, wanting to be this prisoner. I'm telling y'all, I wish this was my top 10. Maximus is easy, the greatest individual I've ever seen in a movie. All right, number 10, we got Shrek. Shrek is in my top 10 for multiple reasons. If you watch the Shrek reaction, I told you one reason why I was in there in the intro. Because I did end up liking this movie a whole lot. But it's in my top 10 because of my friend. And it's in top 10 because I told you, don't keep my spirit animal. Shrek teaches you a lesson. First off, Shrek is not designed for kids. It's a cartoon. Little kids is going to go watch it and laugh. You know what I'm saying? Some little kids might pick up on the lesson, but this is an adult movie. This movie is made for adults. And this movie is telling adults something. It's Shrek is telling you to love what's on the inside and not on the outside. And I feel like that is perfect because I know a lot of people went to go see this movie because they had kids, but then other people went to go see it because they heard how funny it was and they found out that it's not made for kids. With it being animated and doing what it's doing and the lesson it's trying to teach you, I think it's perfect because if any grown up watched this movie and paid attention, they had to catch that lesson because a lot of us being grown like we are, we started to care too much about what people think. It is teaching you not to look at everything on the surface, look on the inside. And I think that's a lesson many adults, many of people should learn. Number 9, Silence of the Lambs. This is the movie that taught me there's a difference between 16. Mickey scared the shit out of me, let me tell you. This is the movie that taught me the difference between jump scares and being psychologically scared. Fuck it, mentally scared. Because Silence of the Lamb ain't one of those jump scare movies. Silence of the Lamb is talking to you the whole movie, and it's scary. Like, it's so tense. Like, the camera angles, how they just kept closing in on him, the way Hannibal talked, how he never blinked. It is fucking mentally terrifying. It shows you that if your movie is well written and you got good caliber actors and a good director, that you don't need jump scares to scare people. If that's nice, everything else will follow. Let me tell you, Hannibal is one of the creepiest things I've ever seen in my life. Hannibal is the first character I've ever seen in a movie that anytime he spoke, he commanded my attention. I could not look away. No matter how uneased I was to him, I could not look away. And that made it scary because I wanted to, but I couldn't. Anthony Hopkins did an amazing job with this movie. And Meg's got some good aim. Number 8 is a movie I just recently watched. Number 8 is Top Gun. Top Gun is pure adrenaline from go. To me, Top Gun is a movie about chasing ghosts. Because all Tom Cruise's character wanted to do was to prove he was as good as his dad. Even though he always done wild shit, I think I even said in a reaction, in a sense, Tom Cruise just wanted the attention from everybody, wanted to be recognized as everybody. He wanted attention, whether it was good or bad. But Tom Cruise was chasing the ghost of his dad. He basically wanted to prove that he was as good or as better than his dad, even though he didn't know what happened to his dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knew in his heart his dad was a good dude, his dad was a hero, but he never knew the story. It's also a movie about family because I know him and Goose were friends, but to me, Goose was his family. Meg Ryan and them was his family. They loved him for being him, but he knew when he messed up. Anytime he messed up, Goose would talk to him and he'll reel himself back in. To me, that's what family's about. I still went through his dog task away. I know that symbolized that he had to let it go, but I can't let go. I can't let go of my friends like that. Number 7 is No Country for Old Men, or as I like to call it, Old Country. Number 7 introduced me to the Bowl Cut Killer. The Bowl Cut Killer started out making me feel so uneasy. Y'all see him. I mean, that motherfucker, hey, He walked by you, hey, you can't help but be nervous, man. But that's like you walking down the street and a motherfucking tiger just jump out. Like, it might not get you, but we gonna keep an eye on it. You know, it might not want the problem, but you know, I'm so. But by the end of the movie, hey, I was damn near cheering for him. Because my man was about that business. He was so surgical with that shotgun. My man was shooting long distance shots with accuracy with a shotgun. Just and then motherfucking Josh Brolin's character, hey man, hey, this is the biggest fucking dummy. He's the second biggest dummy on this list. No. He's the third biggest dummy on this list. Because let me tell you, hey man, my man stole the money, stayed local, got shot at, stayed local again. And like, you know what? I can fight him. What? Bruh, let me find that money right now. I don't care who tracking it. You're not gonna find me. Especially once I find the tracker, I'll put that motherfucker in the McDonald's bathroom somewhere. You walk in trying to shoot up the place. Hey, all you gonna get is some chicken nuggets. I'm gone. I'm gonna be somewhere where I'm the only motherfucker to speak English. I'm just saying, I'm not, you're not gonna find me. But like, this movie's amazing. Hey, it's just so funny because Tommy Lee Jones, his character was just old and just slow. My man never once had a lead on him. Like, he was behind the whole movie. Except even at the end, my man was behind the whole movie. But this movie was beautiful. My man Milton got shot in the throat. And Woody Harrelson, I'm telling you, hey, listen, they didn't pay Woody Harrelson to be in this movie. He was doing something else that day. He just happened to stop by the set because they couldn't have paid him for being in that movie for 2 minutes. My man walked in, got shot, and then that was the end of him. Like, what? I just knew he was going to do some shit too. All that shit he talked, I knew Woody was about to do some badass shit. I thought he was going to kill him with a paperclip or something, hit him in the distance. Bah! Number six is the only movie in this whole 50 that I will never watch again. It's a beautiful movie. It's well done. Great acting. Fucking perfect. The only reason it's not in the top 5, because I'll never watch it again. It's Saving Private Ryan. Amazing movie. I cannot tell you one bad thing about this movie. Fucking beautiful. Perfect. Directed, acted, scenery, music, everything. Fucking perfect. I cannot watch it again. I cannot feel like that. I cannot. I salute everybody who went through that. If your family went through that, I salute them. I thank them for everything they've done, but I cannot watch that again. I cannot. I can't. This is the only reason this movie is not in the top 5. I know I went to go put it on one day and I thought about that movie. I put it right back down. I can't do it. One day I might get I don't know what I'm gonna call it. The gumption, the urge, I don't know what we're gonna call that. The bravery to watch it again, but would not be for a while. All right, so now we're in my top 5. And I already know my top 5 is gonna be a lot different than y'all's top 5. Number 5 is Joker. Now, when I watched this movie, I couldn't figure out if this movie really happened or if it was all in his head. I have now decided that it's all within his head because there's a part 2 coming out and it's a musical. So I've decided everything happened in his head. Everything. But even though it happened in his head, they got me several times to make me think this was real. And honestly, there's enough evidence to still say this is real. I had somebody in the comments tell me that every time you see him out and it's gloomy, that's in his head, because he always said he pictures stuff to be dark and gloomy. I mean, he in Gotham, so Gotham ain't like a ballpark of sunshine, you know what I'm saying? Always dirty. Gotham might as well be Detroit. When they announced the Joker and they said Joaquin Phoenix is playing the Joker, I never once doubted Joaquin's acting skills. I was very excited for this movie. And then I seen the first trailer and I was like, ain't the fucking Joker. I seen that trailer again, looked at it. I was like, there ain't no way in hell that's the Joker. Like, I wrote it off, basically, because the dude they was showing me on TV, I never imagined being the Joker. I couldn't picture him being the Joker. Because, you know, I told you, comic book nerd. I was like, fuck it. I don't care about it. I ain't worried about it. And then I watched this beautiful transformation of Arthur turning into the Joker. It's also one of the saddest things I've also ever seen. It's a beautiful tragedy. And that's kind of hard to say. My number 4 movie is Fargo. Fargo showed us the true female Batman and Margie. Margie is about that action. I love Margie. Margie is the best cop I ever seen in anything. Margie never raised her voice. Margie was smarter than everybody in the movie. Margie was funnier than everybody in the movie. Margie ate more than everybody in the movie. Margie is the shit. Margie is amazing. I love Margie. I don't know how anybody can watch this movie and not love Margie. Margie is great. This whole movie is amazing. Like, this is another one of those people told me you need to watch, you need to watch, you need to watch. But I didn't know what the hell Fargo was. Hell, some of y'all didn't know what Fargo was. I seen some of y'all in the comments say y'all just thought it was a place in North Dakota. I didn't even know it was in North Dakota. I just knew Fargo was something people told me to watch. I didn't know what it was about. But I absolutely love Fargo. Like, Fargo was so fucking funny, but so dead ass serious at the same time. It's just crazy. Like, when Steve Buscemi characters died, at first he got shot in the face, and then used Buddy as a band-aid. Then he went to go hide the Buddy. My man went back, gave old dude his cut of the Buddy, and then got axed down, just chopped up. But dude put his hat on before he chopped it up. That was so fucking funny, man. Like, that dude was crazy. And then, what's his name? Jerry. Jerry had the worst plan of anybody who ever planned to do something. Ever. Real shit. You got a better chance of going outside, getting on the tallest building in your city, flapping your fucking arms, and flying to the next city than Jerry did of trying to get away with that plan. Yeah, Jerry's dumb. Jerry's the second dumb person on this list. Jerry said, I need y'all to kidnap my wife so I can get this money. Like, what was Jerry doing? Jerry had about 5, 6 bad plans going on at one time. He's an idiot. But that's just hilarious. Number 3. My number 3 movie is The Count of Monte Cristo. This movie is the movie to knock The Princess Bride out of the top 5. Because just like The Princess Bride, everything I want in a movie was in this movie, but this was done with a more serious tone and he killed that bitch ass at the end. This had a happier ending than The Princess Bride. This man went through some shit, you know what I'm saying? And my man went to jail, met Dumbledore, you know what I'm saying? Dumbledore taught him shit. And then they dug their way out. My man earned his revenge. He was out there playing chess for real. Like, it had just the perfect amount of comedy in it. But from beginning to end, this movie had me sucked in. This movie had me like Pirates of the Caribbean or or Hook did. Robin Williams Hook, from start to end. It had me. I loved this movie. Like I said, I feel like it had a happier ending than The Princess Bride. This is why this is in the top 5. Because my man not only got his girl back, but he got to meet his son. His girl showed that she was loyal to him the whole time. But she basically married old dude. So I'm thinking so her son wouldn't be labeled as a bastard. Because she didn't care for him. She didn't care. This movie was amazing. I hate to say it. Even the way they set him up was perfectly done. But my man's bounce back game was real. He ended the movie with what he thought he had in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? He thought he had his girl and his best friend. That wasn't his best friend. So, bitch. That's what he was. He's a fucking bitch. He ended the movie with a friend that was legit ready to die for him. That was loyal to him. That was so loyal to him that he was like, hey, bro, fuck this petty shit. Take your girl, let's go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was doing real friend shit. Because sometimes people will be doing shit and their friends know they're wrong, but their friends won't tell them about themselves. A true friend will let you know when you're fucking up. And he was letting them know, hey, bro, you're fucking up. Friends like that is hard to come by. I'm telling you, this movie was amazing from beginning to end. All right, number two, I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. You know what I'm saying? It's The Godfather. Hey, let me tell you, I have never been more pleasantly surprised by the movie I never wanted to watch. I told y'all. I mean, I know y'all probably this head might have spun around like, oh, I can't believe you didn't want to watch this, but it's a long movie, and I didn't want to invest the time to watch a movie this long. I just never did. But this movie don't feel that long. I checked the time one time to see how much time was left. I'm thinking I'm like 30, 40 minutes into the movie. Shit, I got like 30 minutes left. This movie has the only other person other than Hannibal that anytime they spoke, I was like this. When Vito spoke, you listen. Marlon Brando commanded attention in this movie. My man said something, shit happened. My man said something, eyes was on him. I'm telling you. This also has a beautiful transformation in it. Michael went from being just a happy-go-lucky guy. All he wanted was old girl. He didn't want to be part of the business. He didn't want to be part of it. He didn't want nothing to do with it. He showed up late to the wedding. You know what I'm saying? He told old girl not to judge him by his family. He said, I'm not like them. Then, as the movie went along, Michael learned more about himself. Actually, somebody in the comments even said, the scene at the hospital where they was outside standing like they had guns, when old dude went to go light a cigarette, his hands were shaking so bad that Michael had to light his cigarette. He said Michael then looked at his own hands and it was calm. That's when Michael knew he needed to be in the family business. Michael didn't want that life, but he joined that life out of necessity to protect his family. Michael loved his family and he did what he had to do. And I love Michael's character But like I said, at the beginning, nice, sweet, innocent guy. Want nothing to do with that stuff. I can't wait to watch the second one, and I know the second one's longer, but I can't wait to watch it because I've heard some people say it's better. I'm I'm figuring it's kind of like the Alien thing. This is one of those sequels that one of the rare sequels that could be better than the first. I mean, I know I sound like Alien better, but if you tell me you like Aliens better, I'm not going to debate you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get why you like it better. I get it. And I heard the Nero's in part two too. I can't wait to see that shit. And my number one movie, and I know some of y'all's heads are going to spin, but it's cool because you like what you like. You know what I'm saying? And I can't help it that I like it this much. I love this movie. I absolutely love this movie. I've probably, honestly, this movie has probably played 2 to 3 times a week since I watched it for the channel. My number one movie is How to Train Your Dragon. As you can see, when I watch movies, I emotionally follow movies very close. I don't know when that took place in my life, when that started happening, but y'all see me cry at SemiPro Ryan. Y'all saw me crying on Gladiator. My allergies started acting up a little bit in American History X. They also start acting up a little bit in How to Train Your Dragon. I love watching the movie that I can emotionally connect with, because if I can emotionally connect with a movie, either the acting or the writing, a combination of both, or directing, something in that movie is doing very well to make me feel the way I feel. I'm invested in that movie. Now, me personally, I think watching stuff happen to people is easier to connect with, because unless you're a fucked up person, you really don't want nothing bad to happen to nobody for real. I know in most times in these reactions, I tell people that, hope so and so gets shot. I don't wish that shit on nobody in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, I really don't. In a movie, murder whistle won't blood. Real life. So, with that being said, I think it's easier to watch a person in a movie do something, say something, than pull emotion out. I think animated movies has a disadvantage because they're not flesh and blood. So, when an animated movie that is well done pulls emotion, different emotions out of you, you get happy, you get sad, you get worried, you're legit feeling that way from basically a drawing, I think it deserves the credit for that. I think they deserve more credit than actual seeing people do that. Like How to Train Your Dragon, I was emotionally invested in that movie. Like, I cared so much about everything that was going on. How to Train Your Dragon is beautifully written. It's beautifully done out. The voice actors, it felt like they truly put their heart and souls into their characters. Like, you could feel their emotions. Like, I haven't felt emotions like that in the cartoon since Toy Story 3, which absolutely broke me. I've heard the second and the third movie is sad. The first movie about made me cry. So I can't even imagine what the second and third movie is going to do to me. I loved everything about this movie. This movie is truly the type of stuff I like watching. It's toothless. He reminds me of Drogo. Hiccup is the your classic underdog. Like, he's undersized. They wrote him off. My man was doing things a different way. I can just relate to everything about this movie. I can see myself in this movie more than I can see myself in any other movie. And out of all this 50, I can see me in this one. And maybe for that reason, maybe that's why it's number one. Because I can see myself being Hiccup. And I honestly, I cannot wait to finish the series. I know a lot of you probably disagree with my list, and it's cool. Honestly, if y'all want to talk about it in the comments, we can talk about it. I mean, there's don't be disrespectful in that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I love to hear y'all's top 5, top 10, or whatever. Hell, rank the whole 50. I don't care. I love to hear about it. I'm not even sure how many people are going to watch this because it's not a reaction. But it is something we thought we offer y'all, especially we're taking a break. Well, Blank is taking a break. Blank is taking a break from editing right now because, you know, he constantly edits. Everybody needs a vacation from work. My man's earned it. So we're going to hit a little break up, but we're going to come back and hit y'all with some more bangers. Hopefully y'all like this stuff. I'll come back one day, tell y'all my top 10 favorite characters, top 10 favorite feelings, something, you know. We just want to offer a little bit more for y'all. But I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope y'all ain't cussing me out too bad. But I want to thank y'all. Appreciate all y'all. But I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna go pet Drogo, like Rama, take him in here and play with them a little bit before I go to bed. But y'all be good. Y'all be safe. Night, night.